It is more honorable to fail than to cheat. This was a letter sent to the teacher of a student by a very famous person. I'm just getting ideas for the 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock hour. Anyway, the head of Nigerian National Office of the West African Examinations Council, Patrick Aragon, on Thursday last week disclosed that 56 roadside operators were apprehended. Wait, hold on. Sorry, 10th is tomorrow. I beg your pardon. I am so sorry. I thought today was 8 and then tomorrow. 10th is tomorrow. So it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow Saturday. It's tomorrow Saturday, please. Not next tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Okay, so back to the conversation. The head of Nigerian National Office of the West African Examination Council, Patrick Aragon, on Thursday disclosed that 56 roadside operators were apprehended over their involvement in examination malpractice in the ongoing 2023 May-June Senior Secondary Certificate examination. Aragon will disclose this while on an inspection tour to some schools in Abuja, added that about 15 others, comprising students, school proprietors, and teachers, were also arrested. It is not the first time we'll be talking about examination malpractice on Nigeria Info. Neither is it the first time any one of you would have heard or seen examination practice. As a matter of fact, some years ago, several years ago, when I wrote my WAEC examination, guess what? I experienced examination malpractice firsthand. Even in the tertiary institutions, from primary school through to secondary school up until the university, examination malpractice is an everyday conversation. I used to have a domestic help who told me that she has to part with 1,000 naira every day for her 2 children who are currently writing this WAEC. And the school called it passing money. So since she has 2 kids writing the WAEC, it is 2,000 naira for the 2 of them. And they made it compulsory. You must pay passing money. Whether you want to use it or you don't want to use it, you must pay it. And let's assume these 2 children are going to write 9 papers or 10 papers each. That is 20,000 naira spent on malpractice. And I asked myself, the students who would participate in this malpractice, the teachers or supervisors or invigilators who will make this malpractice possible by either providing cheats, bullets, that's what some people call it, for these students. And those that will not provide, but will rather look away than tell them, hey, stop that, what are you doing there? Stand up. What did you do? What did you ask? Let me see a paper. What is that? What is that? They look away. Or is it the school management that are fully aware that examination malpractice is ongoing in that particular center? Or is it the parents who will part with a huge sum of money because they want their children to pass? I do know that some schools have a reputation for always having good WAEC results. Now the question is, did they earn these WAEC results, or was it as a result of examination malpractice? The bragging rights. Yes, some schools are more keen on the bragging rights. Our schools, students who come to write WAEC in our schools, they always pass. They never fail. And a child attends a particular school from GSS 1, and when it's time for WAEC, the child is not enrolled in that school, but taken to this other school that always make their results. Or is it the parents who would like to boast, my child made WAEC in 1 sitting? My son, my pikin sabi book. 1 sitting, she cleared all the papers. he cleared all the papers. When the hidden truth is that this child paid their way through passing the papers. Now, it may shock you to know that even some religious institutions are in on this whole examination malpractice brouhaha. Would it shock you to know that even in theological schools, there is some level of examination malpractice? And I asked today on the sunny side, how can we completely eradicate examination malpractice when we all are in some way agents of malpractice? The teachers, the students, the parents, the lecturers, the educational system as a whole is flawed in such a way that in a situation where they are not able to finish the curriculum for that particular term or semester, as it were, the only other option to pass is malpractice. 070-0923-0923, 070-0923-0923. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. We're live on Twitter. Twitter handle is at NigeriaInfoPH. And Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Now, when you call, a call screener is on standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. Remember to turn down the volume of your radio set when you call and also be audible so we can speak. It is more honorable to fail than to cheat. Is it still applicable in this day and time? Are we looking forward to an era when we have total eradication of examination malpractice, whether in primary schools, secondary schools, external examinations, tertiary institutions examinations? Let's talk. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, do well to send a WhatsApp message. The WhatsApp number is 0809 030 6416.
How much they have remitted to the Ministry of Education or to the federal government. The truth is this: we cannot be doing illegalities and accusing people because they did not meet to your standard. The only way we can eradicate malpractice is to abolish these exams. This malpractice are talking about, the community is even involved. Everybody is involved when it gets to that particular point. Before I leave the floor, let me ask, do you use WAEC result to become the president of Nigeria?
Oh, well,
do you need it?
It's a requirement now. You're not supposed
to. No, it's not needed.
Why?
It is a certificate, not the result. These are two different things.
Oh, so wait, hold on, Mr. Zion. If I understand you, Sitting for the examination is enough to get the certificate, and not whether or not you pass the exams in that sitting?
It's not needed. It's just the school certificate, not the exam certificate. Are you saying it? So we don't need these exams. All we need is, okay, you are through with your SS3, first semester, second semester, third semester. Yes, in the end of June, I don't know the month now, they normally end it or round up their SS3 now. Yes, are you through? You write their certificate for them, let them forge ahead with their life. Rather than subjecting them into buying from thousands of naira. I guess some of them about 30,000 now, at the 40,000.
Okay.
With all this spending.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Zion. Reginald from Chokocho, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think for me, the issue of examination malpractice has eaten deep in our society now, because almost all the actors involved are very much involved in this malpractice. Ranging from the way to uncertain of this exam are involved in this malpractice. The schools, the ministry, and even let me say that the commissioner. Because I have brothers who are teachers, who are always involved in conducting this exam. And when you talk about this issue of malpractice, they will tell you that the ministry is aware, ministry is involved, that even the commissioner has a percentage
A
of
percentage.
what's going on there.
Interesting.
And as a parent, if you say you will not give your child this person money or any money associated with the malpractice, your child will just try the exam, but the exam will not be matched, the exam will not be submitted. End up destroying it on the way, which you may not be aware. So, to me, it's quite unfortunate. It is just like what is happening in the police area, where all these things are happening, and the head of the police will deny. All these things are happening. The head of the schools and the government will not telling you that it's a lie, that it's something that they are not involved.
Okay.
If they are not involved, solution there would have been a solution to end it. But
right.
Unfortunately, there is no solution.
All right. Thank you so much. He mentioned something about the parents. If they do not release the monies to their students, their children, I beg your pardon, to go and pay for some money, the scripts will not be marked. Are you saying there are no credible centers, that all the examination centers are flawed? That all the examination centers have a way of conducting malpractice, whether you like it or not? I remember back then in the university, the University of Port Harcourt is my alma mater, and when I used to be an undergraduate, we usually would conduct our examinations at the convocation arena. In short, my department was known as the arena department. And my set, we were about 300 and something students, and you could see how they would space us on the convocation arena so that there's no copying, no cheating. And because it was an open space, it was very easy for you to catch someone that was, cheating. And we sit according to our math numbers. So if you sit according to your math number, it then means that if you submit your script, for some lecturers that were particular, they take the script line by line. So math number 039, then there's math number 040 coming after. So while the lecturer is marking, if he reads something that is, you say, this person copied from this person. So he brings all the scripts that have the same, the same ideas. And he says, I have 4 scripts here, math number 041, math number 040, math number 039, math number this. All of you come out. And you come out and he says, who is the supplier of the answer? And you say, you have to bring out the supplier. So how many, all of you must have copied from one person. That was how they were able to detect it for some universities. But I know of a particular girl who, whenever it was time, she asked to be put in a separate space. Separate, different from where the other students are sitting, because she did not want to get involved somehow, by mistake or by error. Whether they copied from her or she copied, she did not want it at all. Let's hear from Okafor in a little while. Hi, Okafor. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, my sister.
Good afternoon.
There's this scripture that says that all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And that is the only way I want to describe exam malpractice. Then we're asking, how can it be eradicated? It can, if only we are prepared to accept our guilt. Do you know that in so many churches today, pastors spend their time to prepare lecture, to prepare message to give. And by the time he man to the pulpit and start giving his message, some people say, yes, tell them, as if the message being given that they are not concerned. So the exam malpractices, parents are involved, teachers are involved, the students themselves, they are part of it, everybody is part of it. And it can only be eradicated. If I beat my chest, I say, yes, enough is enough. I will no longer support my children from cheating.
Okay.
And my children to take a decision that enough is enough. I will always read my books in order to pass my exams. And every other person take similar decisions. Okay. Then they think can be eradicated.
All right. Thank you, Okafor. Braid from Marwan, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, my people.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, for me, I look at it that it's a tripartite blame. The parents have a share of the blame. The teachers or the proprietors have the share of the blame. And also the government. Why am I saying that? They make exams to be so expensive for parents. And parents today want to ensure that at all costs, my child makes it. I cannot afford it by next time. Let me struggle to see that my child makes it. And also, the teachers or the proprietors also want to go on L-series. They want to build skyscraper. So they don't care. Whatever that happens, give me the money and let your daughter go ahead or let your child move on. That is what is there today. And also the government, they are making the exam to be so expensive for parents. And that is not the exam we used to sit. There are a lot of bottlenecks today. Why must it be so? In their own time, is it like this? So they should be able to make the education affordable. So that parents, no matter what it takes, your child continues. But today, you will never allow your child to repeat a class because of the way education is so expensive.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Braid. Taria from Asari Toro, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, go ahead.
All right, my contribution is simple. I use mathematical analogy. Endemic corruption is directly proportional to the rate of malpractices in Nigeria, where money becomes a constant if you change the proportional sign of proportionality. Now, what do I mean doing? In as much as endemic corruption is eating into all the fabrics of our society, education sector, as sensitive as education sector is, the corruption has eaten deep into the education sector. Now, in WAEC, what I observed during WAEC, people from schools board, from Ministry of Education, who are sent to go and ensure that there is no exam, go there to collect money from the heads of schools. That's one. If we have a situation where we shouldn't that are writing work in government school now pay 1,500. 30 years ago when I wrote O level, it was not so. We don't pay a dime. But a situation where if you every subject they pay either 1,000 or 500 or 1,500. Who are the people collecting such money, such illegal money from the school system?
All right.
Another people who accused WAEC board. We have also seen a situation where the paper leaked ahead of the examination time.
We'll talk about what WAEC has to say about paper leakage. Just hold on to your line of thought, Taria from Asari Toru. Let's hear from Ikechi in Eneka. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the sunny side.
Good afternoon, PD. Yeah, so let's get to it. The whole issue here is just because you see, exam malpractice has been something that has been happening for quite a while now. We will all know that these things is all because of an education system that has not been regulated. Now, if you look at all these multiple exams, all these WAEC, JAM, there are some nations, for instance, like Canada, they just write their SAT, and if there's any other exam, they will write for the 3 major professional courses. They get into it. I was listening to something the other day. A young man who said that education in Nigeria prepares you for employment, while the one overseas prepares you for job creation. The reason why these exam malpractices are so high is because there is no measures put in place to regulate these exam processes.
Okay.
But somebody would spend his money to buy form, to buy this, to buy that, and then you spend money so that you're not failing the exam. All these things are just too much.
All right, thank you very much, Ikechi. The question remains, how do we eradicate examination malpractice? How can we completely do that? I already laid emphasis on the fact that we all are in some way agents of malpractice, whether it's the children, well, the students in this case, the parents of these children, the teachers, the invigilators, supervisors, the educational system. And I did mention that even in theological institutions, yes, people going to study their Bible, it is possible that they cheat. So where do we start from? Someone said, scrap the exams completely. And another person on WhatsApp says, hello, good afternoon. This is Julie from Stadium Road. I support Mr. Zion completely. Let there be no exams. I mean, if there are no exams, we wouldn't be talking about cheating in the first place. I'd like to read through some of your comments on Facebook before we go on a commercial break, and then we'll come back. The conversation continues. Faith Akbiya says, the opposite is more preferable because failure is not in my dictionary. And also, even Jacob, that's Israel, in the Bible, even cheated and he was praised. In fact, some persons called it smartness. Stephen C. Budu says eradication of examination malpractice is not achievable in Nigeria, as there's malpractice in all sectors. So one sector cannot be immune while others is flourishing. Denise, you don't start what you cannot finish. Ikechukwu Sterling says it is more honorable to fail than to cheat. Some examiners are very disciplined to the point if you are caught cheating, the consequences will be heavier than when you fail honorably. Princess Miko says, is it more honorable to fail than to cheat? The question, Sha, but why won't students cheat when a lecturer will use 3 months to teach them 3 months to teach, then ask students to use 2 hours, 30 minutes to answer 5 questions like our brain, na machine. And the way they will twist the questions there, mappy they shall help. But now who smart fit to use mappy anyways, say no to examination malpractice. Festus Eche says it's more honorable to fail than to cheat. All the problems is as a result of weak system. If we have a strong system, a strong institution, to deal with issues, most of them would have been reduced to the lowest minimum. Government should stop building men and women instead of institutions. Government should stop building strong men and women instead of institutions. You mean start or stop? Let me see if I can read through one of the messages here before we go on that break. Good afternoon, presenter. On the examination malpractice issue, we will know if it is honorable to fail an exam in Nigeria involved in malpractice to pass examination only after justice is established on presidential election that is ongoing. The judgment will tell where Nigerians stand on malpractice generally. Victor from Port Harcourt. Just stay tuned to us. We'll be right back to this conversation.
Nigeria Info. Right back.
On Facebook, for those of you watching live, a plethora of messages are dropping on WhatsApp. I will get to read them after trending stories at 1 as we come back to round off the conversation. Now, this one is from Okoro Donchuk's Izundu. When the leaders and ancestors eradicate vote buying, vote manipulation, and give us good governance, then we can start talking about examination malpractice. Udoka says, no, that is where they teach them how to rig election tomorrow. What is the difference between what the school, the parents, and the students do and what politicians are doing? You give your child 1K to pay to pass exam, and you criticize the governor for doing same to an INEC official. Tomorrow you will want a better country. We are not serious. John Shafar says, examination malpractice is being seen as a right of students who are involved in it. The thing is done in all African countries, writing WAEC. If Nigeria keep involving in this, we will never have our exceptional writers. And John also says, improvement in technology is affecting us Africans. We have accepted the fact that examination malpractice is ongoing now. How to eradicate it? I suggest the switching off of all network whenever, especially public exam is ongoing. So that they'll not be able to, Hafa, number 1, what's the answer? Number 1, A, number 2, B, number 3, C, number 4, D, number 5, Q. Would that be a smart move? But what if there is an emergency and you need to call? What then happens? Now, someone will argue that switching off network whenever they're writing exams is not going to be a new thing. Long before the coming of the internet and mobile phones, known as GSM in those days, people were writing WAEC, right? So how were they able to still do malpractice? There were no phones then, but people were still cheating. So if you switch off the network, will it really make so much of a difference? We'll talk more about that when we come back from the news break. Just stay tuned to us. We are Nigeria Info. Remember the number again, 0